Hi, I'd like to introduce you today to the Bulldog SS20. It's a 20-inch cylindrical scrubber sweeper that's self-propelled forward and reverse. Like all Bulldog products, it's made right here in the USA. The Bulldog Scrubber has a 12-gallon solution tank that we fill right here on top. Basically, we're filling this whole gray portion of the machine with water. That water is pump-fed down to these two brushes that are in the front of the machine. We don't need any tools to change these brushes. The way it works is we spray water on the floor in front of the machine. The first brush is spinning forward like this, scrubbing the floor, pulling the water and any debris underneath. The second brush is spinning backwards like this, and any debris that's picked up by this brush is tossed into this hopper, which is right behind the brushes. The idea behind this is we don't have to sweep up small objects before we scrub. It saves a step. Keeps things from getting into the squeegee and clogging up the machine and causing streaking when we're scrubbing the floor. The debris hopper simply slides on this rail here to put it back into the machine. If you want to change the brushes, you don't need any tools. All you do is loosen this knob, pull up the door, and the brushes come right out the side like that. Makes it easy to change them, makes it easy to rotate them. So we always have even wear on our brush. So underneath here, we can look at the inner workings of the Bulldog Scrubber Sweeper. Our Vac Motor is located behind this plate. By loosening these three screws, it basically comes out like a cartridge, so it's very easy to change. It's a very powerful vac motor, and basically it's vacuumizing this big green tank here and turning the machine into a powerful wet vac is what it does. One of the most important pieces of a floor scrubber, believe it or not, is this gasket right here. If we don't have a good seal on the top of our tank, what's going to happen is air is going to leak through, you'll have poor vacuum, and you won't clean up the dirty water off the floor. Obviously, when it dries, the floor is not going to look very good. So we always want to make sure we have a good gasket here. We recognized that most manufacturers used adhesive to hold this gasket on. Problem with that is when it's time to change the gasket, you got to scrape it off, clean it with alcohol, if you have any hope at all of the thing sticking when you try to replace it. What we did on ours is we made a channel, and basically the gasket just presses into the channel. So it takes about 2 minutes to change one, costs about 10 bucks. Cleaning out your dirty water tank is really important. If you do it every time, it's easy. Some tanks aren't so easy to clean out. This one is. Basically, we've got a gravity-fed drain hose here on the back. It actually has flow control. We can regulate how fast the water comes out of it when we do put it into a drain. It just hangs on a hook back here. After we drain that water out, we're going to want to rinse out this tank. And what we've done on the Bulldog Scrubber is we put the bottom of the drain sloped right back here to this corner on this side. Our hinge tips this way. So basically, we can just tip the tank up like this, take a garden hose, and it only takes about 30 seconds to clean any dirt and debris out of the bottom of this tank. The controls on the Bulldog Scrubber are meant to be, number one, simple, and number two, very intuitive. So it's easy to train a new operator. Basically, we've got a key switch. Every machine has a key switch, so we can limit access to the machine. Very important in a large plant situation. Forward, reverse. It's this switch right here. The way we make the machine go is by squeezing this bail. We've got a speed control back here that controls how fast the unit's going to go when we squeeze the bail. It's also powered in reverse. So when I pull back, flip it into reverse and pull back, it comes back at about half speed. That's a safety feature. So when you're ready to scrub and sweep the floor, first thing you want to do is lower down your brushes. This lever here sets your water flow, how much water is going to come out. So basically, a floor like this, we're probably going to set it about halfway. Okay? And then we lower down the squeegee with this lever here. And you'll notice nothing turns on. Well, that's back to the logic programming we have in the machine. When the machine stops, we immediately turn off the brushes and the water. So we don't leave marks on the floor, and obviously we don't want to flood the floor. The vac motor is going to turn on when I start moving as well. We programmed the vac motor to keep running for about 15 seconds after we stop. The idea behind that is it clears all the water out of our recovery hose here, so it doesn't run back out on the floor. This is the squeegee of the Bulldog Scrubber sweeper. It's very unique. Our opinion, this squeegee dries the floor better than any other floor scrubber on the market today. The entire squeegee is made out of cast aluminum, so it won't rust or corrode. All the fasteners on the squeegee are made from stainless steel. This band in the back here, which is what we use when we loosen when we want to change the squeegee, is also made out of stainless steel, so it won't corrode. And then a further step we went to is, instead of using a gum rubber, or some companies use what they call a Linotex squeegee blade, we used urethane. This urethane blade is going to last about 4 times as long as a rubber or Linotex blade, and it picks up water better because it's soft and very pliable. When we wear out the leading edge of this squeegee, we simply loosen the band, flip it around, and we can use the back edge. When we've wore out those 2 edges, we have 2 more on top. Urethane is also oil resistant, so if there's any type of petroleum in your cleaning application, it's not going to ruin the squeegee blade itself. We also designed this squeegee to resist damage. You'll notice these 2 knobs here. Simply slides into these slots on the bottom of the machine. If we were to hit that squeegee, its first line of defense is it swings out of the way, and I'm going to demonstrate this in just a second. Second line of defense is it's just going to come off. It's what we call a breakaway squeegee. So there'll be no damage to the squeegee or the squeegee carriage. So I'm going to use my foot to demonstrate how the machine would maybe go around a tool bench, a rack, or even a piece of equipment in your shop. Put my foot up here. As the machine travels forward, you're going to see the squeegee just basically moves out of the way. Now let's say we hit something really hard, something that would bend the squeegee or the carriage. What happens with the Bulldog is it simply breaks away. There's no damage to the machine whatsoever. Operator can just put it back on by simply tightening the knobs. In my opinion, the Bulldog SS20 is one of the only 20-inch scrubber sweepers that's made to hold up in demanding environments that you can buy today. The SS20 is American made. It's simple, heavy duty, and easy to use. Give us a call if you want to see a demo.